Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry that I'm out. We talked about this on Friday. So here are your lesson notes for area of composite figures. Our target is to learn how to find the area of polygons by decomposing them into triangles and parallelograms. Alright, so if we take a look here, we see two vocabulary terms. Number one is decompose. When we decompose, it's just like your science definition, but it's to break apart. Just like we did with our rectangles over the last week, we broke them apart into two separate triangles. We decomposed those shapes, breaking them apart into two separate triangles. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to break apart composite figures. And composite figures are figures that are comprised or made together by two or more polygons. For instance, I have a house. It's composed of a triangle and a rectangle. It is two separate shapes that are combined together, composed together of two shapes. Here, we do not have the measurement of the outside of this rectangle, but we do have the measurements of the inside. We color in those dotted lines, we're going to see we have a square of 7 by 7, which is 49 square inches. And then we have four separate triangles. Now we have the height of 3 inches because it is perpendicular to my base of 7 inches. So that's 7 times 3 divided by 2. 7 times 3 equals 21 divided by 2 equals 10 and 5/10. So each of these triangles is 10 and 5/10 inches squared. So we take that, times it by 4 since I have 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. 5 times 4 is 20. And we have 42 inches squared plus the 49 inches squared of my square, and I get 91 inches square is the shape of the overall figure. This next one is actually a little bit difficult. We're going to break it apart into two separate shapes, actually three separate shapes. We have that line of 5 meters. We see that this line here is 4 meters. So that means that we have a rectangle at 5 by 4, which is 20 meters squared. And we have two separate triangles. We have this one here and this one here. You're like, how, Mr. Jonathan? How did you come up with 3 meters and 1 meter? I'm just assuming, because I know this total length is 8 meters, and I have two triangles, and I just broke them apart that way to find the remaining space. So I have 3 times 5 divided by 2. And my really skinny one of 1 times 5 divided by 2, which will give me 15 over 2, 5 over 2, which is 7.5, which is 2.5, and we have a combined total of 30 meters squared. Alright, take a look at this next shape. All that I want you to do is break it apart and find your area. Pause the video now, Find the area of those two shapes and combine them together. Okay, ready? Go. First I have my triangle, and many of you will probably have multiplied it by 12. 12 by 9, which is not what you should do. 12 is the length of this entire line. This line from here to here is 3 centimeters, which means that this is 9 centimeters. So that's what you're going to be multiplying. 9 times 9 divided by 2. For the rectangle, it's 3 times 5. We have 81 over 2, or 40.5 centimeters squared. Here we have 3 times 5, which is 15 centimeters squared. So we have a total of 40 and 5/10 plus 15, and that is 55 and 5/10 centimeters squared. Now, this is a quick video for showing this, but really you have to visualize and break apart each individual shape. Now, what I'd like you to do is finish the bottom on your own. Pause the video right now, and we'll go through it afterwards. Okay, ready? Go. Alright, you should have paused this so in order for you to go through and answer this question. If we break apart this house, we break it up into the roof, which is 4 feet in height by 28 feet long. Now the question is, why am I adding the 1/2 into here on this one? Because it's easier. I have even numbers. I know that I can find multiply by 1/2. It's just taking what's half of 4, which is 2 times 28, which is 56 feet squared. Then I have my rectangle, which is base times height, which is 8.5 times 28. We do the math. My magic number is 1. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 8 is 64. Plus 4 is 68. Add my 0. 10, 16, 17. So my total is 0, 8, 13, the 1, 238 feet squared. So in order to cover the whole side of the house, we have to do 238 plus 56. 294 square feet. Now, if we're looking at a total cost, it's $5 per square foot, and we're multiplying it times the 294 square feet. 294 times 5. $1,470. Okay. You have your math minute, your geometry prereq packet, your independent practice. I said math minute again when I shouldn't have, but ignore that. Your independent practice and your IXL sheets. Follow all the directions, please. Thank you.